Hey guys, it's your boy Adrian from Elite Educators back at you guys with another video. And what I wanted to do is just an excerpt from one of the past papers that we are doing currently with our Standard 5 students. And these are two simple questions. However, a lot of students get them wrong. So I'll do what I regularly do, talk a little bit about the theory. Then we'd go into the question, see why students usually get these questions wrong. And then we will give the correct answer. So let us do question 12 together. And I hope this helps you guys, especially Standard 5 students. Now, remember, first step of any essay related question is we must read the question properly. Take your pencil, they're not going to penalize you, they're not going to give you any trouble if you write on the paper itself and highlight the keywords. So step 1, which of the containers below holds less? So the first thing is, we need to figure out which one of these containers has less of the water itself. And notice these pictures are kind of poor. They're not all that crisp and precise. And the first trick is the first trap what they make students feel is basically this. Most of the diagrams that they draw are not drawn to scale. This is 1/5 of a liter. This is 375 milliliters. A lot of students, especially if they're running out of time, and they would actually just look at this and they'll say, hey, container A looks wider than container B. The answer must be container A. But no, we have to find the solid proof to make sure that container A is actually larger or smaller than container B. So a lot of students immediately put answer A, which is wrong. Unfortunately, that's the first trap. So in this question, what we need to know is we just need to know the basic units of conversion. Conversion from milliliters, ml, to liters. And the best way I explain it all the time is just by looking around at the soft drinks you guys have. Think about a bottle of Coca-Cola. A bottle of Coca-Cola is about half of a liter. Long time ago, they used to have 1 liter bottles of Coca-Cola. Now they have 2 liter bottles of Coca-Cola. And the best one is the chubby bottle. That is exactly 250 ml, which is a quarter of a liter. So we just need to know this conversion. So what is the conversion? Well, 1 liter is equal to 1000 ml. Our metric system of measuring length and even measuring units of volume liquid is based on tens, right? Like for instance, we have 10 millimeters make up a centimeter, and then we just add zeros and then we get up to meters. 100 centimeters will give us a meter, 1,000 meters will give us a kilometer, and so forth. But in this question, all we need to know is 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters. And now that we have the answer, we need to convert both of these to the same exact units. One is in ml, milliliters, and one is in liters. So how do we do that? We have 1/5 of a liter. So we have 1/5 of 1,000. Now, when we're doing fractions, I want you guys to just picture a pizza. Yummy Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza, which is amazing. I could order that right now if I was not on a diet. But whenever we have a fraction, right, 1/5, the bottom number is called the denominator, and the top number is called the numerator. The 5 is essentially how much we divide it equally into, and the 1 is how much parts we have. So if we have a pizza and we divide it into 5 equal parts, 1 on top and 1/5 would be equal to 1 slice out of that 5 slices. So we have to divide this 1000 ml into 5 equal parts, and we would have 1 of those equal parts as 1/5. So how do we do that? We say 1/5 multiplied by 1000 over 1. And all we do, cross out the 5. 5 divided into 5 will give us 1. 10 divided by 5 will give us 2. And we see that 1 multiplied by 200 will give us 200 ml. So now when we look back, this container A has 200 ml and container B has 375 milliliters. So even though container A looks bigger, and remember in the question they want to know how much holds less, a lot of students, like I said, would immediately just assume that container A looks bigger than container B, that is not actually the truth. By doing the calculations, we are able to find out that container A is 200 ml, container B is 375 ml, which is almost double that of container A, despite container A looking bigger. So, which one holds less? 200 or 375? Again, I ask you guys all the time, which one would you rather have? Your grandmom or your aunt or your parents or somebody, they come for Christmas or Diwali or Eid and it's like, hey, please hold this little gift of $200. Or they come and say, hey, hold this little gift of $375. In that case, you would want the 375, but less would definitely be the 200 ml. So the answer for question number 12 is A, despite the fact, and the trap in this question was, the first thing is that they had it in, where's your reason? Okay, good. Just got the eraser. They actually put 1 in milliliters and 1 in liters, and that way they would try to like trick students into just looking at the pictures. And students who are really hurry and rush, they would immediately choose the one that looks smaller, and container B looks smaller. Now that we finished that question, let's move on to question number 13. Let's get back that eraser. That eraser was kind of cool. Alright, so guys, follow along with me. Remember, read the question really good. So Steve is measuring the thickness of his copybook. What unit of measure will he use? Now, with this particular question, they actually gave us details. They said copybook. Now, a lot of students, as soon as they see book, they automatically think about, hey, we have a ton of different books. Our encyclopedia might be really thick. We might use centimeters, whereas some of those like 5-subject notebooks are also thick, so they'll use centimeters. But no, they want copybook. And a copybook is those small little books that you guys are accustomed to writing on. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that we are measuring the correct thing. So a copybook, its thickness is generally about this thick. Not too sure how you guys will see it on the video because different screens will have different formats. And we have different units of measure. Now, we have to find the most appropriate unit of measure. And we have different types. We have millimeters, which is the smallest. We have centimeters, we have meters, and we have kilometers, right? So 10 millimeters equal to 1 centimeter, 100 centimeter equal to 1 meter, and 1,000 meters equal to 1 kilometer. And why is this important? I will, like, way back in the days, like when I was in secondary school, that was before I got my scholarship and stuff, they had my science teacher, my Form 1 science teacher, give us this awesome experiment. And she selected 4 members of the class, and she told us she knew the exact dimensions of the class, how long the class was, but she wanted the 4 students to bring 4 different measuring instruments or measuring tools. The first student had to bring a meter ruler, which is a pretty big unit of measurement. That meter rule is some big rulers that your teachers may have at the front of the class. The other student was to bring a measuring tape. The other student was to bring the 15 centimeters ruler, the small ones that you might have in your pencil case. And the other student would have one of those little triangles that just measure about 5 or 6 centimeters at a time. And what she did was she had each one of these students measure the length of the classroom. And she told them, do not give that information to anyone else at all. And at the end, when they finished measuring the class, now the class didn't have any lines, they had to just measure. They wrote their answers on the board, how long our classroom was. And boy, those answers were completely different. The reason why is certain measuring instruments, like the measuring tape, that was made to measure a classroom. Whereas a 15 centimeter ruler, that's so small. That was meant to measure your copybook, the length of a pencil, the length of a pen. That was not made to measure the length of a classroom. And the exact same thing that we predicted, the measuring tape as well as the 1 meter rule, they got it closest to the value that our teacher put on the board, at the exact length of the classroom from the plans of the school itself. And the students who measured using the 15 centimeter rule as well as the little triangle, they were way off. So it is very important that we use the correct unit of measurement to measure particular things. Like for instance, imagine we want to measure the length of Gull City Mall to Maracas. Would we use centimeters? No, that will be a huge number. You'll have to write like 2 pages of numbers in your books, or if we use millimeters. So we use kilometers, right? And this is why this question is so important, so that in life you will be able to use correct measuring tools and correct units for your actual measurement. So copybook is really small, so a lot of students choose centimeters. However, centimeters would be good for thicker items, like for instance, the laptop that I have in front of me, a big textbook. However, millimeters, those are the smallest units of measure. When we have 1 centimeter, we actually divide the centimeter into 10 little equal parts, and these are the millimeters. So the unit of measure that he would use would be mm, which is the symbol for millimeters, right? So guys, I hope this helped. I will be putting out a lot more videos in the next coming week, plus I got the iPhone 12 Pro Max, so I can record more live videos as well. So I hope you guys are well. Remember, do not worry, an SEA this year is your best opportunity. Reduced syllabus, plus you guys have our assistants at Elite Educators. You guys gonna rock that SEA exam. Anyhow guys, this is Sir Adrian signing off, and peace.